Welcome to Insights. In this video, we sat down with a group of African men of different nationalities and discussed their thoughts on xenophobia. Bear with us as we did have certain difficulties recording this video, but we felt the need to put it out because of its great insights. Please note that this video was recorded before lockdown, and let us know your thoughts on xenophobia in the comment section below, or engage with us on our social media platforms or links in the description below.
I've got nothing to add, but I can tell you that most of my experiences have been pleasant.
Yeah.
I haven't been, except once, like this recent one, because I stay in town now, where literally this whole swarm of people shouting Zulu, Zulu were coming my way. And I'm standing there like, shit, should I run? Because I'm assuming these are foreigners. I'm seeing them, they're running the opposite direction. And I can clearly see that these guys, they're targeting the people that are running, you know. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna walk. But that's the only bad experience I've experienced. So literally the people just passed me, my heart in my hands, but I've got a face of a soldier that time, you check. But yeah, so yeah, that's the only bad experience.
With me, I could say that it's a bittersweet feeling. Like, most of my life I've been fortunate enough to be around like good people, like, you know, you guys being yeah, so like it's a good feeling when they ask you about your culture and you get to explain to them like certain things that you do, and then it's also like a bad feeling when you see that like your fellow countrymen are being abused and
yeah. It's like every time this thing happens, like I've got friends who are calling me like, are you okay? Like, you know, even back when I was still in high school, got my high school friends that are with me. So I don't have any negatives, though I know people that have experienced some bad stuff when it comes to this. Yeah. Not fear. Not fear. More of, I feel for them, you know, because even when they target people individually, they target how you look or how you dress, you know. There's no fine line in them identifying as South African and the foreigner. Because I'm sure you heard stories that even vendor people were getting targeted by this. Because they ask you to say this thing in Zulu.
Yeah.
and the person who's from vendor, like, they can't pronounce it properly. So yeah, it's like not scared, just sad.
You would never find.
There's some people that really hate foreigners.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
a passion.
I know, but then the thing is, I feel like I don't know what's the word, but one thing for sure is you'll never find a person like Seth attacking him, like seriously, me or whatnot. You understand? But then go to those dodgy places, you know. That's where you get those people that legit are sitting in the streets 24/7, you know, hitting on that nyawupe hard and stuff. Yes. Those are the people that will come at you. Trust me, you will never find a professional being touching anybody.
Like what he's saying, so like it's the way they see us. They see us as people who are taking their jobs. They see us as people that are coming in here and taking their money. But when you analyze this whole economy, I think that foreigners are actually putting in some work into the economy, and they don't understand. It's the people that don't understand that do this type of stuff.
With me, I could say it's jealousy. Like, for example, a foreigner, they probably escape their country because they fear for their lives, and they see South Africa as a place of refuge to come and find themselves a better life for their family and for their siblings. So they come here with the mindset of, no, I have to work hard, I have to provide for my family. So then when they see like the ones that don't work and sit around, when they see that their jobs are being taken because they're not capitalizing on that opportunity, it creates like it creates jealousy, and out of jealousy, the only thing that can be formed from that is hate. And from hate.
Then isn't that kind of, like, isn't that assumption kind of trivial though? Because you know that, like, our economy is, honestly, as South Africa, we haven't completely recovered from apartheid. Yes, we expect the government to do so and so for their people. Like South Africans are generally mad, and I honestly feel weird. Like this weird dissociation from you guys to like differentiating from them and us. Isn't that part of the problem? We all experienced slavery. We all like went through that whole mess, and apartheid is the most recent. Well, us being liberated from apartheid like is the most recent in that whole mess. So can you really blame hatred? Because it's literally unemployment that forces people to have that kind of thought process. It's that's why miseducation. It's not even like lack of education. It's miseducation. And none of you like. I'm not trying to preach like hate or anything, but like nobody actually looks at the root of all these problems. Like looking for a job in the white man's world. Whereas as Africans, we come from like community and stuff. So I got you, you got me. And that's how it's always been.
Yeah, that's how I was saying. The thing is deeper.
So I honestly like that.
Sorry
about that. I don't feel like acting each other about it is gonna help anything. But I don't think you telling me you hate me because, or I'm telling you I hate you because it's gonna help anyone. I don't think that's a problem, because honestly our problems all the same.
I feel like the problem starts way at a point where they call us foreigners. No, what's that? I'm in Mother Africa. Am I not African? That's the problem itself. Like the top guys up there, the ones, the news guys, the whatnot. I swear, I'm one of those guys. I go on ENCA. The moment I see foreigners are being whatnot, no, these guys, they're the ones causing it. Why are you calling me a foreigner? If you get, okay, I'm from Zimbabwe, yeah? If you get a Zimbabwean, white dude, put him here. Are they going to put him foreigner?
Never.
You see now?
It was actually a point we brought up, like when we sat down and discussed this topic. We also felt bad, like the three of us, we felt bad for referring to everything we refer to as foreigners. So if I could ask you guys, what would be a better term to use? If not African, African is just all. Because there's a name to everything. Like we as humans, we give names to everything. What would you guys prefer to be referred to as? If I could ask.
I don't think we should be named anything.
Yeah, like the whole concept of naming. Like, or dissociating ourselves from each other isn't an African thing.
Yeah.
So,
because one thing for sure is you go to the States, they'll never call you foreigner. Never.
You're black, bro.
They'll be like, hey, my brother, what's up? You understand? Come here, you know. Then it's a whole different math equation right there. You foreigner straight. So
like the chicken density of your head.
But then, if I'm recalling like correctly, every time these xenophobic attacks happen, something happens on the news or something is said. The last time the king the Zulu king said he was giving a speech. He said that these people must go back. Do you know what happened the next day? It was xenophobic attacks. The recent one, the police were looting in Joburg CBD. They were closing streets and taking fake goods from business owners. Do you know what happened the next day? These xenophobic things started. So I'm not sure about my information, but I know about those two, especially I know about those two. So it always starts with like the big guys, should I say, or the government or something like that.
Men in power.
Yeah, men in power, exactly. Men in power start to spend most of the time, and then it's just a snowball effect.
last one is actually the saddest day. Is like it started with this whole weed and thing, right? Sorry, rest in peace. And there was like a whole thing. I remember because I was on Twitter and there was a whole investigation with the whole GBV thing going on in the country, and there was an investigation and people were spreading fake news saying a murderer and rapist was foreign. I can't remember, like Nigerian or something.
Yeah.
And the day of the taxi drivers had apparently planned to protest, and as they say, it just got out of control. Like people who don't do anything, like just hop on the bandwagon and shit hits them back.
And I heard something about that, but this time it was about a taxi driver being murdered by a Nigerian.
That's the story. That's the story.
Which was fake news.
That's not
Which was fake news.
Not even where it started.
So media also plays.
Yeah, media definitely
Media
plays.
plays a huge part in it.
There was also like people. There was allegations and stuff that a lot of the videos being released were like videos that were made years ago. So I personally saw a video, and then I asked people about that video, and they said it was actually a video of a man that was stealing in the community, and it was just mob justice from like 3 years ago. But this video resurfaced, and they said this was a foreign man in the. So do you feel like that also played a part in all the
Big time.
attacks and everything
Like,
that was happening?
dude, it's crazy. And also the whole thing about like, as foreigners, we forget that you have your people travel from your lands. I guess in my side, I know for a fact that there is like human trafficking and everything, and Igbo men are responsible for that thing. But nobody actually addresses that. The fact that South Africans themselves are hurting because of your people too. So that type of anger is sort of justified. Like I don't stand for like killing or like mob justice, I guess, but like it's kind of justified. Yeah.
That's a whole nother video, I guess.
And the drug dealers.
Mm.
That's a perception.
That's like
That's the top tier.
yeah. it is.
And like
Yeah.
with Congolese people, because I'm Congolese, they see you like you're from another planet. So, so when they're like, oh, you Congolese, like, oh yes. I'm like, it's like they've never seen a Congolese person.
Yeah.
So
And then on that topic, I would never like argue a stereotype, but there's a lot of, I won't say research, but there's a lot of like,
Okay, yeah.
there's certain things that actually
Back
show
up that.
back up that stereotype.
Yeah.
Or that.
Nah, they I support you because also, not that I buy it, but the people that buy it, most of them, they buy it from Nigerians, you understand? And you could also say that they're justified sometimes, like what Ifeanyi said. You could also say that they're justified because imagine you're a mother and your son is going to buy drugs, and you find out that they're buying drugs from a Nigerian. In your mind, you're just going straight up like, back then in my day when these guys were not there, drugs were not around my hood. Now these guys come here, now all of a sudden there's a lot of drugs and my son is on this. So you could also say sometimes they're justified in what they do, but they go
Not
too
what
far.
they do, their anger.
Their anger, yeah, but
Like
they
yo,
go
please
too
don't
far.
get me wrong. Like
They go too far.
don't. Like I guess we have the law. We have the law for a reason. Not saying that the law actually helps, because that's governance, not justice. But yeah, no, it's not it.
So how do you suggest we combat such?
Yo, I am not a drug dealer. Yeah. Thing is, bro, like, look at Hillbrow. Like, people are calling Hillbrow like the new Nigeria or whatever, but then it's not like Nigerians flew down and just like started distributing drugs. It was an industry that was already taken over, and that's another thing about tribalism. Like, it's just misguided hate. So before, people would hate their own people for everything going on, but there's nothing you can do about it. But just because we're not the same, it's easier for me to hate you,
Yeah.
you know? So